what's up? We are here again on What's Sibling Rivalry, the podcast. I'm joined by
Shonda Scott, his Kente's sister.
Yep, and I'm Kente Scott, Shonda's brother. She over here representing our school.
Our alma mater.
Alma mater, UCLA in the building. I like that shirt. It's nice. Little flash dance feel to it.
Chanel gave me this.
Got your shoulders out. You
got it all hooked up.
Yeah. Did you do that yourself? Or
No, it came that way. It was a gift. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody knows I'm all about UCLA.
Yeah, it's a nice little tie-dye.
So they like find me UCLA stuff and hook me up.
Yeah,
My cousin got it for me.
You be pulling them out your hat too.
Yeah.
I got like 3 UCLA shirts.
Yeah.
You got like
no, I'm
17,000.
still loyal, faithful. You know, we just had our 100th anniversary UCLA.
Yeah, you went to
I
it.
went to Alumni Day
How
there.
was it?
It was fantastic. Well, it was fantastic just in the sense of all that UCLA is about and meeting new people.
Yeah.
But it was kind of disheartening because it's like when I was at UCLA, we were at UCLA.
Yeah.
That was the most probably African American
Yes. I was about to
population
ask you
on
that.
the campus. Now I don't think until maybe the next group will feel that because now there's a concerted effort to get
Bring 'em back.
African Americans. So now the classes now are the largest classes of African Americans being
since
admitted.
our time.
So it won't be for that class. These next classes graduate in 5 or 6 years, then they'll come back and feel more what we felt because then it was like that we thought it was a small amount then, but the amount of
felt like a large
because
amount.
of the population of UCLA, the amount of the percentage that we were, even though we're like 3%, but out of 35,000, we were the size of HBCUs as far as our numbers.
Right.
Well, now you go and it's
0.1,
minuscule.
It's 1%.
So, but the thing is, they're back getting it together on because it's been such a push from alumni and everybody else to say, this is ridiculous.
So,
this doesn't even reflect America. This doesn't reflect the community that it's in LA.
So how many of us showed up for the alumni day? Did it look like?
No, it was sparse.
Okay.
Because it's not a lot. When you do 100 years.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you got to think the 100 years.
Yeah.
But I mean they have, more African American representatives as far as like the vice provost and the which is like deans at the school, senior high level deans, and then. Administrators.
Right.
They have some, more than we had when we were there.
Yeah.
Like I think it was one
Yeah,
professor.
I think I went. UCLA's changed so much.
Although, right.
But I went a few years ago, right after when I did Antoine Fisher, we did
The
naval
movie?
The movie. We did a naval learning session on campus, and I was telling all our fellow castmates, I was like, it's Wednesday. They're gonna be at the Bear. This is Black Day. Watch, he comes out.
And it was crickets.
And it was crickets. It was like
Nobody.
2 Indian kids came. I was like, hey! And they were like, no, we don't know you.
So my funniest story on the 100th anniversary was that they had a Black alumni photo tour. They said it was.
Yeah.
So it started say at like 2 o'clock, from 2 to 4. So me and 2 other guys ran into each other. And we were like, oh, are you looking for the
Black alumni
group? So we go into it's in this library that's supposed to be, or this art gallery. And we get there, it's like around, 2:30-ish.
Right.
And no one in there but us 3. I was like, let's take a picture because this is an indication of what UCLA looks like.
Exactly.
Is this what, I said, I just had, we all were so sorrowful. We're like, is this what it's like?
Wow.
Well, then I go to my major had a reception. The political science group had a reception, and I was going to that reception. On my way there, I see this sea of African American people. Some of them I went to school with.
Right.
I'm like, hey, I'm like, what's this, the Black People Tour? So what happened was everybody met there. There wasn't a photo there. I thought it was a group photo. We all thought it was a group photo. They left on a tour, so say they left at 2:29, and me and these other 2 guys arrive at 2:30. So we just missed them. So if we had come, we would have had a different. We would have had all kumbaya.
So you guys showed up on CP time, and they showed up.
Well,
it
was in between, so there were other things scheduled. So I had other activities. Like I had gone to see 3. One of the ones that were there when that signed my diploma. 3 of the chancellors.
Oh yeah.
So they had a forum with them. So I went to that and met him and talked to him and not talked. So then I was staggering everything. There was a program all day, all these activities.
So you were trying to make.
So I was making time at different events.
Right.
So that's why I said, I can get this window of time to go to this since it's 2 to 4.
Yeah.
But the 2 to 4 is because they were taking everybody on a
Right.
tour.
Oh.
So I caught them when I
they
was
were coming
going
back.
up to North
Did you
Campus.
take a selfie with them? Did you know you're the selfie
We ended
queen?
up taking a picture in front of 42
Oh,
right, Jackie Robinson's
number.
bronze statue down like at the end of
Oh, that's
Boardwalk.
cool.
So
Yeah.
a few of us took a picture there
Oh,
of
that's
the
cool.
class of us that were in the same class.
That's dope. I like
So that was kind of
That's
cool.
dope. That's dope.
So
See,
then it ended up making my feelings feel much better.
But it was like, we are still here. We do
And the
come
fact
back.
that we do this alumni reception every year in the Bay Area to recruit, to encourage those students of color who have been accepted to actually commit to UCLA to help us get more there.
Yeah.
And this year we had, it's at the Sequoia Country Club, it's a country club in Oakland, real nice. And we had a packed house.
Wow.
I have friends that I went to school with, their kids, 3 or 4 of their kids, 3 or 4 of the friends, and their children were there.
Right.
They had all got accepted.
That's dope.
One of our friends that we went to school with, Lisa Brew, her daughter's actually committed to going to UCLA.
Okay.
So it was like we had been doing this event for 3-4 years to get it built back up,
Right.
to get more African American people of color back to UCLA, and this year after all that momentum we had, it was packed. It was
That's
a lot,
good. That's
and
good.
some of them got into Harvard and Stanford and
Yeah.
all kind of other places.
And
so.
I like too because former First Lady Michelle Obama came to UCLA because now they have a student signing day.
Right.
Because they have the
Oh, the
college
athletes,
signing
right,
day and
right.
all that, and they had this big hoopla. So UCLA had, a lot of colleges were doing it, but UCLA had students who were coming to UCLA as just academic
committed,
students.
right.
You committed, so they had student signing day,
Right.
which I thought was big because I always made a big deal about the athletes
Right.
coming, but the students want to feel just as special, and they've
Right.
never gotten that moment. You just be like, where'd you go to UCLA? But to have a signing day and they have,
they actually
Michelle
started that
Obama.
in the White House, Mr.
Yeah, see,
Obama's,
yeah,
the signing
and
day.
for them to still be doing that and come to UCLA, that was amazing. And I'm like, that's great because it gives that next generation or the incoming freshmen like a boost,
they're
I
excited
feel
about
special.
going to college.
Exactly,
It's a big deal.
And you're supposed
Right,
to have that
right.
type of excitement. So, but you got to go to UCLA and go a little way back. We like to go a little way back here. Let our fans and our subscribers know where to check us out. Know a little bit about us. I'm sorry. So we're going to start with, I mentioned my top 5 movies.
Right.
We're going to talk about our top 5 movies and our favorite TV shows growing up. So my top 5 movies, and they kind of fluctuate because the more I think about it, but it was The Wiz, Rocky 3 with Mr. T, Predator, Which Way Is Up with Richard Pryor, and Blazing Saddles.
Oh, Blazing Saddles.
The sheriff is near.
That's only my top 5 because how many times we watch Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles.
The
was
myth is true.
It's true.
It is true.
It's true.
Bernadette Peters was hilarious.
When that man said, the sheriff is near. Boom. The sheriff is near. No, Bill Floyd. The sheriff is near. Boom. Oh, man.
It just was comedy.
Austin, to this day, your son, my nephew, when he does that, we'll both be in tears because now you talk about I got him on Family Guy. He was watching Blazing Saddles when he was like 4.
And it's funny because when Blazing Saddles came out when we were young, it was like, ooh, they were just doing such bad things. They were like,
it was so edgy for the time.
And now it's like you watching like that's so funny how that was like edgy.
It's almost
now,
like cartoony funny.
Right. It's funny, but I remember laughing, crying. To watch something every time. Mel Brooks is hilarious.
Mel Brooks is a genius.
He was everything he did was just like seriously funny.
When he did, I watched Young Frankenstein. He did Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder's.
He was hilarious too.
But when Gene Hackman was in, they have a scene in Young Frankenstein where Gene Hackman is blind. And he doesn't know Frankenstein's a monster, so he's like, come on in, I'll get you some food.
Is it Gene Hackman or Gene Wilder?
Gene Hackman is a
he
guest
is
star.
Oh, okay.
There's like a
That's
cameo
funny.
scene in it. And he's a blind man. He's trying to feed Frankenstein some soup. And Frankenstein's like, And he's like, here, he's got the hot soup, and he puts it in Frankenstein's lap. Frankenstein's like, He's like, oh, you okay? Okay, have a cigar.
And he can't see.
And
so
he can't see, so he's trying to light the cigar.
It's like the things he would think about. Right.
And I'm like, but it was to see it thought and then put into a scene and
That's
then come
funny.
up and still be hilarious years later. I'm like, that's just genius.
Yeah.
So what are
my
your
top
top 5?
Of course, The Wiz.
Of course.
Mahogany.
Of course.
Oh, my love. Billy D. Anything with Billy D. and Diana Ross were my favorite movies.
Yes.
I just love them.
You want my arm to fall off?
And then you want my arm to fall off.
Yeah.
And then the best line in that movie for me is like, success is nothing if you don't have anyone you love
still
to
say
share
that.
with. Oh, because that was like, wow. I was like young. What?
Yeah.
But that was like Billy D. That's a cold
Yeah.
line. He got her straight though.
Right.
But then the fashion, and I love that.
Uh-huh.
And Donna Ross is just like, I don't
She
think they
was
give
fly.
her a lot of credit for
Yeah.
her film. Because just think, my top 3 all have Donna Ross. So
What
The
was
Wiz, Mahogany, Lady Sings the
Oh,
Blues. She
yeah.
played that part.
Yeah.
To the point where I never wanted to do drugs because
Right.
she showed
Oh, yeah. She
the
was a
real
drug
side of
addict.
Billie Holiday's
Yeah.
struggle, which is a real struggle
Right.
for a lot of people in the music industry.
That's
you
true.
know, that's
Yeah.
what happened with Whitney Houston. I mean, that
Uh-huh.
industry, just all
Eats
these
you up.
beautiful voices
Yeah.
have just been, tormented
Right.
because of that. Then Purple Rain, and I have to
Purple
have
Rain,
that
I'm
because I
fucking-
saw that
Woo!
100,000 times
Man.
in the movies. I went and saw Purple
Yeah.
Rain. It was like, and now I see it, I'm like, I wouldn't really saw, but the music,
The
I think
music-
the soundtrack and music.
The soundtrack made that movie, but the acting was, if you look back at it, the acting was not great.
But it was like the
still
soundtrack,
like,
and I mean, just to see it that mean.
But I
So
mean-
then it's Which Way Is Up and Sparkle. Only because
Okay.
I have 5 that they had to do a tie.
Yeah,
because
the-
Which Way Is
Which
Up, I
Way
saw
Is
it a
Up?
million times. That was
Man,
hilarious.
I still have that on DVD.
That was
That
hilarious.
was hilarious. Richard Pryor.
Right.
Richard Pryor.
Once
Richard Pryor.
a month?
Yeah. Richard Pryor played 3. He played himself. He
The
played his
preacher.
daddy. He played the preacher.
Reverend Do-Right.
Reverend Goodnight.
Good night.
Reverend Goodnight. And his father, when he was like, somebody ate my chicken. I hope the motherfucker choke on the bones. Man, that movie was
Yeah,
was
that was
before
hilarious.
its time.
That was funny.
That was hilarious.
And then
Sparkle. Oh, you love
Sparkle.
Yeah.
I love Sparkle, but I think it's the same thing with the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
that's
the
true.
soundtrack.
The
And then
soundtrack
I
might have
love the
been better
movie. Yeah.
than the movie.
No, the soundtrack
was
was
like
the
neck and
movie
neck.
was good because the
Yeah.
soundtrack was good, but you knew the soundtrack before they introduced the
That's
movie. And
true.
Aretha Franklin did the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But then everybody in the movie sang the
Yeah.
soundtrack.
And I forgot about Purple Rain. Like when we were young, I had a birthday, and we had Purple Rain on VHS, on the VCR, and all the dudes sat around and we kept replaying the scene where him and Apollonia having their love scene.
Right.
When she's in her, she wasn't even there, she was in her camisole. And we played that and her jumping in the Lake Minnetonka. And Mama had to come downstairs like, turn that damn video off and get back to this birthday party. We was just like, oh, that's the best part.
Okay.
Oh, that's the best part.
See, that was
Yes.
before the internet. All
Yes.
of that, like all those moments were like you were so happy to have that moment.
Right.
Like Humphreys at the Hustler magazine,
Right.
and you read the
Oh,
comics
man.
in it.
Yes.
They were so inappropriate. It was
Hustler
so funny
humor
that you were
was the best.
finding out information on Hustler humor.
Yeah, we were in Houston for Thanksgiving, and Aunt Fenice, I found a stack of them, and I sat over there reading them again like I was.
She was the
all
one
way
that
back
turned
to
us
it.
on to comic books.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And see, I like comic books in the comic book context. I didn't necessarily like when my comic books became movies or cartoons. Like
Oh,
I
'cause you
read
like
Richie
Richie
Rich
Rich
and
and
Archie,
Archie, yeah.
and all of them. But when they
Yeah.
became real people on the show, I'm like, well, not that
Right.
funny. Like the Flintstones, I want
Yeah.
the cartoons to be cartoons,
Yeah.
not to try to be
Yeah.
real
and
life.
then they would. It's funny because like those they didn't really look like the way they were drawn. Like
That's true, too.
Richie Rich I think was played by Macaulay Culkin. Or
Right,
somebody.
right.
Like, I don't really see.
And he was
Richie
always
Rich
like
being that.
5'2".
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he was like 2 feet, 3
Yeah,
feet
with the
tall
little
with a
short
big
set.
head, a
Yeah.
little short set,
Yeah.
looking like
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so I like my comics because they almost get it right because there's so much CGI.
Yeah.
with
Like
it
Black
now.
Panther.
Yeah.
We gotta put. I put that just for honorary
Black
movie.
Panther,
That gets an
honorary.
honorary.
Yeah.
That
It's
gets an honorary place on the
Yes.
top 5.
Exactly.
It's like the bonus.
Well, seeing as
Like
how
the
I've
lotto
seen
with
it
the
already,
bonus.
I saw it in the movie theaters in 6 days. I saw it 5 times. So I think that honorary mention. Top
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
And then
No, I just feel like it should always have
Oh,
a
yeah.
seat in the top 5.
Because
like, see if you get your top 5, then you have your bonus.
Exactly.
It's always Black Panther.
Yes,
So it might as well be always Black Panther and the Wiz, and then
Right.
whatever else.
and all the other else come around. Yeah, because Black Panther it broke ground. It was groundbreaking, and it showed once again
And broke box office.
box office that we go see movies worldwide. Our
Right.
movies translate around the world, which I never understood how Hollywood would always be like, well, it won't sell in foreign sales, and I'm like, but in Japan they know hip hop.
Right.
In Europe they know breakdancing. So if they know our culture, then they're gonna know everything we do. So why would our movies not translate?
So that's the other piece. So it's about the dollars too, because
Yes.
they also show the power of the African American dollar. Like we spend like 1.2 trillion.
Right.
We are
Yes.
the biggest consumers.
Yeah, we're the biggest consumers.
Yeah, and that money needs to be coming back into our community
Right.
because that's the piece. We're big consumers, but our money we don't actually spend it on
Yeah.
our culture and community. So that's what Black Panther did, because that
Yeah.
whole film was, Black director, Black producers,
Black writers,
writers,
yeah.
costume designers,
Costume design. She won an
actors.
Oscar for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Oscar-winning
Yeah.
and nominated material.
Yeah.
And they actually showed the amount of money that Blacks spend, and
Yeah.
that we have that kind of power, even in Hollywood. Like
Right.
you do a film like that, you can make money